Hi
Hi.
guys.
Hi, 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 hi. Hi,
Hello.
hi.
We're back.
We are back.
Two peepees on a poo poo. Every time I do the files for like the videos and stuff, I call it like pee pee poo poo.
I have to burp. Never mind.
Burp cam. No. Oh.
Nor.
So
It went away.
we have some art behind us.
Yes.
Who's the artist of yours?
The artist of mine is Ichiro Suruta.
Ooh.
I think that's how you say it. It is a
Okay.
Japanese, he's a Japanese painter. He? Yes.
Very
Very
slay.
beautiful. Oh my
I
God, so
love that.
slay.
That's so cool.
Let me show it better. I don't know if
No,
you
I
can
really
see.
love that.
So beautiful. I was
Amazing.
scrolling Pinterest and one of his art pieces came up and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Artists are
And I was
cool.
like, yeah. I love these art pieces because they remind me of like noirs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I
But
was
like
thinking it looks like that.
mixed with like traditional Japanese art. It's
No,
like
that yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I get from that.
and that was like so cool because I think traditional Japanese and Chinese watercolors and stuff like that. I think those are so beautiful. And so when I found his artwork, I was like, this is so stunning, especially since I love noirs as well.
Yeah, very
Who's the
cool.
artist of yours?
Oh man, Michael DeForge. He's an artist I love. He's actually my favorite artist. He does a lot of like graphic novels. This is one of his
Yeah.
pieces. This was for I think it was in a magazine or something.
Mm,
But I thought it was pretty cool and it's how I've been feeling lately, so
yeah.
I felt it fit the mood. But I love him. I have a few of his books. I just adore him. He used to work on Adventure Time actually. He would do like the
Oh, I can kind of see it.
yeah, yeah, he used to do, like, the background art and some of the character design, I think,
I
and,
love
so
Adventure
a lot of his
Time.
work is, like, nostalgic for me, but I've
Mm,
always, like, I don't know, I think he's based out of Canada, but I've always kept, like, a tab on him since I was younger because I've always just, like, adored his artwork, and
mm,
his stories are always so compelling because they're really, like, funny and weird, but there's also something deeper behind them,
mm.
so he's cool, so anyone listening or watching should go check him out.
Yeah, check out both the artists that we are
Oh, for sure,
showcasing.
yeah.
Um, how was your week?
So bad, literally the worst. That's why I'm saying I feel like this. I feel oopy goopy nasty. Well, like the majority of it I can't remember because it's like later in the week. But the last 3 days I've been pretty much just like stuck in my bed because I've been having like some pain. I have like chronic pain from
Mm,
endometriosis, but like it flared up really bad the last three
oh
days
man.
and I couldn't get out of bed. Every time I try to stand up, I like can't walk. It's better tonight, but also I've been drinking tonight, so I feel like that's why. But,
Oh,
like ooh, but, besides that, it's been pretty bad, and then I've just been going through a lot emotionally, so it doesn't
mhm.
help, and September is always hard for me, so I hate
Yeah.
September. How about you? How was your week?
Um, my week has been interesting.
Mm,
I recently started on Zoloft,
right.
and this is like the first actual medication I've ever taken. Um, with the exception of like Tylenol,
Yeah.
Advil, and like antibiotics, like I've never taken any medication for anything.
Oh, okay.
Um, so yeah, so I started on Saturday. I had my psychological evaluation, and then the nurse practitioner that I talked to was like, okay, um, here's the deal. She gave me the rundown. She answered some questions and she read about the medication to me, gave me all the deets, and was like, I'm gonna put it in for your pharmacy. And I was like, sick. And so then I picked it up, and funny enough, I had like a family gathering that day. And so my mom and I were like, why don't I test it out? Like, let's see, what happens, since I always get stressed out at family gatherings. Like it's kind of logical. It's medication for anxiety.
Yeah.
And I get anxious at family gatherings. One plus one equals two. Let's see. And so I took one per my the nurse practitioner's instructions. And anxiety medication, for those of you who don't know, is pretty fast acting. So it kind of like kicked in the minute we arrived. And boy, was that an experience. when you're used to like when you're used to firing on like all cylinders, going like 100 miles per hour, like your mind is constantly like everything all at once. um when you take a medication that like halts that and stops everything
It's so
and like
weird.
makes you like slow down, it's like a really strange experience. Like I was literally like my head was quiet, my mind was quiet, and it's never been quiet. And so I was like, what is going on? And I was just kind of sitting there. I didn't talk a lot. I was just kind of sitting there taking in my surroundings and watching everyone, and like be I was like so entertained by like just everything going on around me. And but the thing is that like I was very like visibly on something. That's the problem. It's like I feel like
You were in
people
slow
could
motion?
tell. I was trying to like take a wrapper off of a cupcake, and I was like moving really slowly, and I remember being like, "Can I take this off like faster?" And I couldn't. Like I physically could
Yeah.
not move faster than like how I was moving.
Now looking back, do you regret taking it before the party, or do you like that you took it before the party because you were able to see the it in full effect? Or I guess for the first time before the party.
I think it's funny that I took
Yeah,
medication that I
because
had
it's a
no
fun
idea how
story.
it was gonna be. Like I literally like how fucking bonkers is it that like I was told how this medication might affect me negatively and positively, and I was like, yeah, let's take it right before a fucking party. Like I think that's the
Taking
funniest
pills
shit.
before the party.
Like I think that is literally the funniest shit I've ever done in my life. And my mom
Mhm.
was like, and then my mom was the one that suggested it. That's the thing. Is my mom was like, why don't you try it before we go because you get stressed out at these things. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right. And like what I don't regret it.
Okay.
Even though taking it for the first time, it kind of I get like mood swings a lot,
Mm.
and it's not like a PMS thing. I get them all the time. Like I could literally just be sitting at my like desk at work, fine, answering an email, and then all of a sudden I'm like on the brink of tears, and it's like nothing happened. um so yeah, so um that was kind of exacerbated,
Yeah.
like exaggerated beyond repair. That's not what I meant to say. Exaggerated like beyond belief.
Oh.
um and it was like every 5 minutes I was experiencing like I was fine, and then I was like on like ready to cry, and then I was fine
Mm.
again, and then I was ready to cry, and then I was fine again, and then I
That
had
must
to.
have been
It
weird,
was so weird, and like
especially with,
in
like, an empty mind as well.
yeah, and it was like weird, and I was like nothing was happening, and like it was so strange. And like within like an hour or so I felt like I had to cry 5 times. Like it was so it was a lot, and I'm used to, you know like very quick mood swings, but that was like faster than normal. And eventually my mom noticed that like, it was time to go.
Right.
And so I cried like 3 times in the half an hour that we were going home. But then after I got it out, I was fine for the rest of the night. But
Mm.
as the weeks gone on, it's affected me. Like the effect was less and less potent. Though I think the best day was Sunday,
Was that the day you
because
were laying around?
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
So on Sunday I took it, and I literally spent the entire day laying in bed under my comforter and like a blanket with the lights off, my fan on high, complete silence. And I was just laying there. And it was the greatest experience of my life. It was so quiet. I was so relaxed. Oh my gosh. And like I went in and out of like napping the
Yeah.
entire day. And like part of that is because I had a headache, which is
A
a
side
side
effect.
effect of the medication, but like it wasn't a bad headache. It wasn't like a migraine or anything. Like it wasn't extreme. It wasn't super painful. Um, but it was uncomfortable, and the only thing that would make it feel okay was just like sitting in the dark, cool room in complete
Mm.
silence, cover like closing my eyes. So yeah, so it was like really great. And then I like went in and out of napping the entire day, and eventually like the headache went away. And oh my god, it was so wonderful. I remember I told my mom, I was like, ask me what I did today. She was like, what did you do today? I was like, absolutely nothing.
But
I
it's
laid in
nice.
bed.
That must be so
Yeah.
nice.
It was so refreshing, especially since like my mind is so used to being
Hmm.
like on hyperdrive.
It's like a break. It was probably good for your
Yeah.
body to just have a day
Oh
where you
yeah.
didn't have to think about everything and you could physically rest.
Yeah, I felt so refreshed. And the thing is that like you know when you like sleep during the day and then you can't sleep at night?
Oh yeah. But
Not
you
the
could sleep at
case.
night.
I
Oh
could
my
sleep at
God,
night.
that's nice.
I slept all during the day and then I slept again at night. And I was like,
Ooh,
this is so
I wanted to
fabulous.
ask, so creatively, were you able to write since you've been taking the medication? Because I know sometimes I feel like there might be an effect. I don't know.
Um,
I'm curious to know.
yes.
Yes.
I was worried about that.
Yeah, because that's always my concern with medication. I'm like, is it gonna take away maybe the madness? I don't know if that's what makes me creative or is it the me,
I was
you
able
know?
to write something.
Oh, good.
But more recently. Um, so the first 2 days, no, I was like numb.
Yeah, you also your body was adjusting and
My
stuff for your
body was adjusting
mind
to
and
taking medication. So the first couple of
and
days
you
I
were
was
busy those
like,
days as well because you went didn't you go to work and you also went to the
oh yeah,
party?
so yeah, I had like the party, and then the next day I was busy um laying in my room.
Oh, that's when you were laying in your room. Yeah.
And then so Monday um I got to work, and like it's this is so funny. I got to work and I started feeling like my typical anxiety symptoms because I hate working. Um and it's just funny how like even through medication it like still it stresses me out.
Yeah.
Nothing particularly stressful happened. It's just the
Maybe
idea.
it's the environment of your job.
It
Maybe it
is
brings back the anxious things because sure, medication can take care of the chemical
physical.
side of
Yeah.
it and the physical side of it, but I feel like there's also a part to it, like, if something irritates you so much or, like, brings back
Yeah.
trauma from, like obviously, working can be traumatic in a way, um, depending on the situation or the environment. Maybe it was something like that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Cuz like yeah. Because the thing is like at my job, because so many of the people that we deal with are like so stupid. Like everyone is constantly yelling about the latest stupidity. And then
Mm.
I have a coworker that's just like pacing every 5 minutes, and she walks so aggressively. So it's like I'm over like before, like I was, fucking fight or flight the entire time. I was on high alert. I felt like, danger every time. Oh my god, it was so bad.
Yeah.
So now it hasn't affected me as much, but like
It's, like,
it still
lessened, but it's
affects
still
me.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate yelling, and I hate aggressive walking. And those are things that really stress me out, and I have to deal with those on a
Yeah.
daily basis for like 8 hours of the day. And like it really does like overload me sometimes. And like then I have to answer phone calls, and then I have to answer emails, and it's like people are asking me questions, and I'm over here like I don't know. Like it really is just a whole bunch of shit happening all at once, and I'm like, "Oh my god." And yeah, and it's yeah. So the last few days um like today I showed up, I took it, I experimented today. I took it later than I usually do because I was noticing that it was wearing off, because I usually I was taking it like at like 7:30, 7:45 a.m. And
Oh,
so by like 7:30 or 7:45 p.m., it was like wearing off. But by then I wasn't like fast asleep by then, you know?
yeah,
So
you want it to work until you're ready to go to bed.
yeah, so it's like by then I was still up or like watching a show or something. So it's like when I would get tired and want to go to bed, like the first day that that happened, um it was like my brain was making up for lost time, and
Oh,
my
so you couldn't
anxiety came
sleep
back,
and
and my
yeah.
yeah, it like came back tenfold. It was so,
It's always the worst before bed too. At
oh my
least for me, when
god.
I'm anxious, like before bed, I'm thinking about every
Yeah.
thought.
And the thing is
Ever.
I that happens to me usually. That happened to me before taking the medication, but it was never that bad. And it was like it was so much, or not that it was never that bad, but it hasn't been that bad in a very long time. So it was just so much all at once. I could not sleep. It was such like a tumultuous night for me. And then
Mm,
but it's been like chilling out the last few days. So today I was like, let me experiment. Let me try to take it
later.
later so that it wears off later. Um, except today it just like barely affected me at all, if it did. And that was before
Mm.
I shotgunned two caffeinated beverages.
Maybe
I just
tomorrow try to calm down on the caffeine and then see if it has the same effect when you take it later.
well, the
Because who
thing
knows if
is
that could have had a effect on
but
it.
it just wasn't affecting me even before I had the
Oh,
double caffeine. Like it I took it and I noticed it's like I was like, okay, like I don't feel it kicking in even before I had a sip of coffee. So it's like and I've been having and the coffee I have isn't even that strong, you know,
oh,
and coffee doesn't really affect me too much. But but yeah, like even the day that I was taking it the first time, like I was drinking coffee. So it's
okay.
like,
So the caffeine probably doesn't have an effect.
yeah, it doesn't really affect it too much. But
Do you
like
think maybe
today,
you're building a tolerance already? Your body?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah. Like I fully am ready for like it not to make any difference to me within the next coming week, I think.
Mm.
I'm going to see tomorrow. Maybe today
Yeah,
was
see
just a
how you
special.
feel, you know?
Yeah, maybe today was just a different case. There was a lot going on today. So I was a little stressed more than usual. Um, but yeah. Anyway, mental health is not our topic today.
It could be our topic every day though. It's kinda kooky. But I
um,
don't know, I feel like art and mental health, intertwine because I feel like a
yeah.
lot of artists do have mental health issues. Because I do feel like in a way art does come from, like, obviously, like, tough spots inside a person, and
Yeah.
mental health also causes those tough spots.
Mm. By the way, our
Our
topic is
topic is
art
art and
and
photography.
photography.
We'll probably end up talking more about art, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like,
I like
well,
photography as well. I
yeah.
consider myself a bit of a photographer in my own way.
Yeah. I feel like, well, they go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Thing
well, yeah,
is.
it's its own art form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
art.
Art.
Mm, you like to draw, right?
Kinda.
I
I
like your
I
doodles. You drew our logo.
I did. I made our logo.
Yeah,
Um, and it's like all collagey and stuff.
I love it.
Thank you. I love it too. I think it's really cute. Um, yeah, I mean, art.
Art. I love art. I've always been really interested in art. Art was always my
Yeah.
favorite like subject in school. Always,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like
definitely.
gravitated towards art at a young age. Like I used to be so into like sculpting in clay.
Mm.
I used to I had so many like polymer clay packets growing up. Like that was my thing. I'm trying to get back into like clay because that's like my art form that I feel like I'm the best in because I'm a really good sculptor and I could probably succeed more in that if I had the
Hmm.
effort.
Maybe you
But
should
like
get back into that.
yeah, it is. It's very therapeutic for me as well. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, it's expensive. That's the
Yeah.
one thing. Because the kind of clay I like to use, it's like It's so much, it's like $3 a color, and I'm like or more, and I'm like, "I don't
Mm.
have that kind of money." But then again, you can paint it
Have
and
you
all
tried
that.
like other mediums, like other types
Like
of clay and stuff
clay,
like that?
yeah. Well, my favorite's polymer clay just because for me it's the most, like, accessible, I suppose, and I just know how to work with it the most.
Mm.
But, like, I don't know, I feel like it also is I don't know, I can depend on it because with, like, air dry clay, it, like, cracks, and then, like, some
Mm-hmm.
other stuff, it's just, like, I don't know. Do you have, like, a specific medium you like to use? Whether it's clay, whether it's drawing
Um,
or, like I mean, you're a writer, that's a form of art as
yeah,
well.
that's like my medium, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, I've always loved like drawing and coloring, but I never really like excelled at it. Not that I think that I
Mhm.
was bad, but it just like I never really excelled, I think, you
Mm.
know. Um, but writing is more my medium. I used to do theater, which is also an art form,
Oh, for sure.
but um that kind of fizzled out for me.
But you could always go back into that if you feel
Yeah,
ready,
if I
you know?
wanted to, but I don't think right now,
Yeah.
I don't think I could. That's the thing. Is that like I feel like it's weird. I feel like, it kind of served its purpose in my life. So like now I'm kind of like, okay, thank you, but I'm moving on now. Um, although I still love to see plays, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's not to say I wouldn't consider it in the future because I do love the theater. But writing right now
Is your
is
interest, yeah.
my interest. It's been my interest for the last few years. It's funny because like writing poetry is like something that I really love to do and that comes very naturally to me. And I think always has, but like I never really clued into that. Um and then just one day I started writing, and I haven't really stopped. Um, and I have like this collection now, just like writing. And yeah, I mean, like, it's funny. Like, earlier, I was like, getting changed or something, or whatever it is. I was indisposed. And I just got like an idea. And I was like, shit. I was like, I can't do anything about this. I was like, and I was like sitting there, I was like trying to remember. I was like repeating it over and over and over again in my head. I was like, don't forget this, don't forget this, don't forget this. And then I finally got it down and then started writing it out. And it just kind of like it fizzled away. Like, so it's kind of unfinished right now. But maybe I'll revisit it. Maybe I'll delete it. Who knows? But I feel like I feel like I can just like it's weird. Like I would have all these ideas when it comes to like wanting to draw, but not I wouldn't have the skill set for it. Or it's like every time I would sit down and try to draw it out, like it just would never look like how I want it to. It would never
Yeah,
look like it. But
I
when
can
I
relate to that.
write, it's easier for me to paint a picture with words
Yeah,
than it
yeah.
is with
Well, you have such a descriptive way of writing, like, all of your writing paints such a picture.
yeah. And the thing is that like it's always been like that. So even when I've tried to write stories, like it would never work out for me because I feel like I would always end up too like descriptive and abstract. So it's like like the stories I would be like, "Oh my God, like this makes no sense." Like I couldn't write a novel, you
Mhm.
know. But
I feel like you
yeah.
could write a novel, though.
I've tried. That's the thing is I've tried and it's like I
It
can't do
takes
this.
time, though.
I couldn't. I can't keep like an actual plot. Like I can't keep like an
Oh.
actual
No, that
coherent
is
plot.
tough. I've tried to write novels before too, 'cause I like writing too. I feel like I dip my toe in a bit of, like, everything, I guess. Is it
Hmm.
this thing? I dip my toe in
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing, but I feel like every, like, artistic medium I've tried just because I like to express myself a lot. But with
Yeah.
writing, I've tried to write, like, short stories and novels before, but I can never keep, like, a consistent plot
Yeah.
or, like, I feel like I wanna move on to something different by the time I'm, like, 90
Yeah,
hours
that's my
into it.
problem is that like I would always try to write a novel about moments. And like
Oh yeah.
the only thing I would think of were like scenes or moments.
And it's hard to connect it all into one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I would be like I can't keep trying, like I would think of a moment that would happen and that would be like a middle of the story type of moment. So then I'm like, okay, well now I need to get to that point, and I would never be able to get to that point because it's like me trying to keep a consistent plot line.
Yeah.
Like Dana, stay on track challenge, difficulty impossible. Like I literally could not.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
mean,
why I like,
you've done like short stories kind of like I mean that wedding poem story that I love
oh,
so
well,
much.
yeah.
That's kind of
That's
like
like,
that. I mean, that's
yeah,
different than a novel obviously, but like maybe that can turn into something more.
the thing is um that was very like a stream of consciousness
Yeah.
that's just a very long-winded metaphor.
Yeah, true, true.
Because it's like it's not actually about a wedding, you
I'm
know? It's
too
not
obsessed with that one. I just love it. I
you
need
bring
you
it
to
up
like,
every
dude,
time.
listen, because I need you to send that to me so I can read it whenever I want. Because I just like remember what you said, and I'm like, man, that's good. Because no, because I could relate to that so much. You know, I love your writing.
Yeah. I remember when you said I wrote better than Alex Turner. What?
No, I do think you do though. Because okay, with Alex Turner, I love Alex Turner. Don't get me wrong. I love his writing.
Yeah.
I think he's very
I could
talented.
talk about his
But
writing
okay,
all day.
also everything's subjective. I can have my opinions. Obviously,
Yeah.
other people can think other things. I
No,
like
your
how
opinions
Alex
are
Turner
fucking
writes,
wrong.
but I like how you write better than Alex Turner's writes. I would rather read something you wrote than what he wrote. I would read yours first.
That's fair. The
Yeah.
thing is that I find that so funny because he is such an inspiration on me, and his type of
Well,
writing
yeah,
is such
yeah.
a huge
I can
inspiration
tell.
on me. Like him and Shakespeare, which is like
Hmm.
really funny. So it's funny, like when you told me that, I was like, this is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life because I literally like am
That's your
inspired by him. So it's
inspo.
like it's so funny. But I get what you're saying. See, the thing is I love how he writes because you know what? This is so funny. I was talking about this vaguely to the void on my Twitter account. And like someone had posted lyrics from Science Fiction by Arctic Monkeys off of Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Um and the person was like, um it's like a popular joke to be like, Alex, what the fuck are you talking about ever?
Yeah.
And the thing is that like, well, there is some truth to it. Like, there's some lyrics where you're like, what the fuck is this? I'm the type of person. It's funny. It's like Shakespeare to me. Like, a lot of people read Shakespeare and they try to take it literally, and they really shouldn't
Yeah.
because like a lot of the times it's not like
Wait, speaking of
Shakespeare's.
Shakespeare, what's your favorite work of his?
I'm biased towards Hamlet. I
Yeah.
love
I
Hamlet.
I
I've
probably
seen
could have
it
guessed that
so
because
many
yeah.
times,
Weren't you
but
in
I
the
was.
version of Hamlet? Yeah.
That's the reason why I am biased.
Yeah.
I've seen it quite a few times. But the very different I've seen all different types of iterations. I recently saw Alex Lothar as Hamlet
That's
at
so
the Park Ave
cool.
Armory. He was so good. Like holy shit. I love him. I think he's such a great actor, and like I went in already expecting a lot, but like he exceeded my expectations. The whole show was just so good. The funny thing though was that the concept was so similar to how we did it at my high school. So
Oh,
that
that's
was really
cool. So you
funny.
could relate to it.
Yeah, so that was like really funny. But it was so good. But yeah, I think other than that though, I there's just so many good ones. I really like and I'm specifically thinking about productions I've seen. I really liked um Richard the Third, which was that is
Oh,
such a cool one. And Titus Andronicus. I've seen those live at
I like the one we can't talk about.
oh, the Scottish
The
play.
Scottish play.
You
I
could
like
talk
that
about it.
one.
You just can't say the name of the play.
Yeah, I like that one because
That's a good one.
I read that one in high school, and it just like I don't know, I liked it the most. I liked it more than like the other works we read.
Did you know that's Shakespeare's shortest play?
Really?
Yeah, and the reason why is because he wrote it after Queen Elizabeth the First died. So King James, I think, succeeded the throne, and he famously disliked long plays. And Shakespeare's plays at full length are like 5 acts. So
Oh
when
my God.
Shakespeare was like the court playwright, basically. Queen Elizabeth loved him. And so he would write plays to perform at court. And so when he was writing plays to perform for King James, he was like, well, shit, like he hates long plays. So I have to write a shorter play. But the thing is Shakespeare was a bastard and he was an asshole. So, affectionately. Um, and he knew that King James was super superstitious and that there was a threat to his life. So what he did was he wrote a play about the king of Scotland getting killed and there being witches.
Yeah.
So he basically was like, "Oh, you're superstitious
Let me
and you
make
hate
that worse.
witchcraft and you're scared of being killed. Oh, let me write this short play." Because
Oh, that's so
the
funny. Now I
character
like it more.
yeah, it's like it's really funny when you like look into things. But yeah,
I have
like
to see it like act like an actual play of it because I only
I've
read
seen it
about it, I
I've
guess.
seen it performed, but like not a professional production. I've seen when I was in college, I saw my friend was in a club production. There was like a Shakespeare club which I auditioned for, but they did not let me in.
They suck.
I botched my audition, to be honest. It's funny. Oh my god, this is so funny. The I had such a huge crush on the head of the club. He was a senior and he looked like Julian Casablancas. He
Oh
looked
God.
exactly like
So it looked
young Julian.
musty and nasty and looked
No,
like
no,
he had
like
a
young
stench following
Julian.
him around.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
like
Young Julian
no.
looked like he got a stench following him around as
No,
well.
he looked like Julian if he had a very different life path. Like
Oh,
if
if
he
things went
actually
well?
showered, yeah. Like I
Okay.
swear, oh my gosh, it was so funny. Like I was like every time I saw him, I was like, that guy looks like fucking Julia Casablancas, and but it was crazy. But yeah. Anyways, Alex Turner is like Shakespeare to me.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because people decide that his lyrics are difficult to derive any meaning from, so they
Yeah.
will always be difficult
Well,
to
they
derive
seem
any meaning from.
abstract. Well, I mean, they are abstract in a way,
Yeah, but what I
but they have
mean is
meaning
that like
too.
it's not that they're hard to decipher, it's that people decided that they are, so they always will be.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Like when you look at something you're like, "Oh, this is hard." It always will be hard. When you look at Shakespeare and you're
Yeah.
like, "I don't understand this." You're never going to. So it's
You have
like
to open your mind.
yeah, so it's like when you like because I will always have that like theater analyzed text Shakespeare mind. That's how I started approaching his lyrics, and I've started being able to like derive meaning from it, Because the thing is you have to let go of the fact that, you have to let go of trying to actually figure out what the song is actually about. You're never going to know that. He's never going to say it. You're never going to know that. But you can always read a lyric and be like, this could possibly be about this.
True.
Um,
Well, they're
but
up for interpretation too.
exactly. And also, not everything that is written about was a real experience.
No, literally, when I write, so half the time it's about just imaginary things.
Yeah. I literally like I sent you something the other day and I was like me writing about something I've never
Never experienced.
experienced.
Yeah, I remember that.
Almost all of my writing is about stuff I've never
But
experienced.
sometimes it's more about what you want or what like
Yeah,
I
or
don't know
what
what
you
was
think
this.
it would be like.
Listen. What I don't know what song it is. Mitski wrote something about that. She was like, I think it might be the song I Will. She's like, I didn't have someone to say these things to me, so I wrote a song that said it for me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of artists do that. They'll write about things that aren't
Yeah.
true or
Or
didn't
it's
really
just like
happen, but it's something they want, or it's just like,
or not
you know,
even that.
it's
It's
the
just like they think of a
imagination.
storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they think of a storyline. They're like, "Oh, I have an idea for this. So I'm just going to go with it." And they like it. So then they like expand on it. So I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of people like there is a lot of truth in songwriting, and
Yeah.
specifically.
There's different
And
types of songwriting though, because feel like
yeah,
sometimes it's therapeutic, and that's when people really do write
yeah,
about their real experiences. But other times, well, I guess the other type can be therapeutic as well, but it
yeah,
can also be just like a way to tell a
yeah.
story or an
And
abstract or whatever.
exactly. And I feel like people get so caught up in like, oh, he wrote it, so it must have happened. So it's like you
Who like,
can't
huh?
think like that. You really cannot think like that. Like I feel like people just really think about it too hard and
Yeah.
yet not enough.
And
You
then
know,
sometimes
it's like
I feel
really
like
stupid.
it's so when like artists do come out about stuff that like they write something that like really like explains like a relationship they had. Like I feel like, okay, now why are you doing that?
Yeah, like I like not knowing what
You know,
something is
literally,
actually
I hate when
about.
it coincides. Like obviously it's gonna coincide if they write about their real life, but like sometimes I'm like, okay, that's a little on the nose.
Yeah. But like I was saying about like that specific lyric from Science Fiction by Arctic Monkeys. It was it was Swamp Monster with a hard on for connectivity, the
Yeah.
ascension of the cream.
Remember
Uh
when everyone was so bothered by that line?
what was
If
the one after it?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
That song's so
Oh,
wordy. I can't
it
even
was
remember the name.
yes, it is very wordy. It was oh, what's the word? Um something something easing.
Hold on.
It was a data term.
No, it is. I'm trying to remember it too.
Oh
'Cause
god. Swamp Monster with a for connectivity,
yeah,
the ascension of the cream. Nice
I can't
panic
remember
on a
shit.
not too distant future colony. Quantitative easing. There it is. So
Mm.
someone was like, Alex Turner's lyrics don't make sense. Like, what the fuck are you talking about here? And I was like, do you really not see any meaning within that? And so I broke it down and I was like, here's what I think it's about. And I
Yeah, but
broke it
also
down.
that entire song is full of references, so I don't understand why
Oh
people
yeah,
don't
100%.
understand that one. It's a complete reference, that entire song.
Yeah.
Like, it
It's just
100%.
like
That's what I like. Okay, with his writing, he does bring in a lot of references, which
and
I
he's
love.
consistent. The thing is
Yeah,
he's consistent. That song is titled Science Fiction and it's all science fiction
fiction, yeah,
references.
no, literally. But I love that in his writing. It's
It's
really cool.
yeah, it's all like it really reminded me of like 60s space age.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, but we love when there's references in songs and we can go look and
Yeah.
figure that out. Because I like that more than, like, knowing a meaning of a song, like, whether it
Yeah.
relates to them. I like
Mhm.
learning the references or what it's actually, I don't know, referring to.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like those lyrics like I was like you're really like you just don't want to see, not that you don't want to see, but like you've decided that they're too hard, so they will always be
Be
too hard to
hard, yeah.
understand. Like there like he does have some fucking weird lyrics that I'm like I have no idea what you're talking about, man, but like
But
rock on.
sometimes they're not meant to be known, you
Yeah,
know what
like
I
I don't
mean? They
care.
could
The
just
thing
be
is I
whatever
don't
he
care.
thinks.
The thing is I don't care. Like I love that he just says shit sometimes and I'm like period.
More people need to
Exactly.
say just shit, you know what I
Random
mean? Random
shit.
shit.
And but then other times, people are like, "Oh my god, this lyric makes no sense." I'm like, "It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's
What are
the
you
thing.
talking about?"
But that's the thing, it's gonna, like, not mean anything to some people, but mean everything to other people.
Yeah.
That's how it works. That's how all art works, really. Cause like,
Yeah.
some people can look like, I feel like with a lot of abstract art, a lot of people will look at it and be like, "This means nothing, this is just a random sh like, bunch of shapes." But then
Thing.
other people are like, "This is everything to me,
Yeah.
my entire life." You know,
Yeah.
it's that kinda thing, but,
I feel
like,
like and I feel like the distinction is like, critical thinking.
yeah,
And I feel like cuz even abstract stuff, like if you give it the time of day, stuff starts to you know, develop within it.
yeah,
Like if you it like an abstract art piece. If you just stare at it and you're like, this makes no sense, it won't make any sense. But if you actually, focus on it and you actually give it the time and take a piece by piece or, let's say you hone in on a shape and you're like, hey, that shape kind of reminds me of this. Oh, now I'm thinking of this. Oh, I can kind of see a story happening here. I feel like if you actually take a second to read abstract lyrics or look at abstract art or really take in something that you may on the surface level think strange and hard to decipher, if you take a second try to remove that prejudice, take those lenses off, and just look at it objectively as art
Mm.
or as a story, you know? Think of it as a,
Question.
yeah.
Like,
Like,
is there any art that you dislike or don't think is real art?
oh, I don't think there's nothing I don't think that is, well, NFTs and AI
Yeah,
art. That shit pisses me off because it's like NFTs, one, they're ugly. Two, they don't do anything
for sure.
besides like kill the environment and steal people's money.
And then a lot of the times those artists, I don't know, it's not really about the art. They'll do the
No,
most
it's
generic
not.
fucking same shape fucking
It's
shit
literally,
and
it's
sell
not.
it. No, it's
It's
not.
not about art.
'Cause
People
they
try
I feel
to
like with
sell the
NFTs,
thing,
they pretend like it benefits artists, but
but it
half the
doesn't.
time it most of the time it doesn't. It literally is just for, like, NFT bros.
It doesn't benefit anyone. Even the NFT bros, they dropped
No.
all this money and now
And now
like
they're broke as fuck.
the other day I saw a story. It was like a $100,000 NFT just sold for $100, and I was like, then it's $100 NFT. Like that's not
Yeah, for sure.
like that. They don't mean
No,
anything.
they don't. It's literally
They don't even
it
own
used
the
to
artwork.
frustrate me so much when, like, people were so into those because I feel like now everyone kinda caught on that or almost everyone caught on that it's kind of, like,
Yeah,
stupid and fucked up and no one needs that. But, like, at the beginning
there
of it
were
all, it
people.
was
The thing
so
is like
fucking stupid. I hated
when
that
those
shit.
like started coming to light, I was like, this isn't gonna fucking go anywhere. They're a
No.
scam. And look at it now. Yes, they
No,
are a
literally.
scam.
That's why I'll
But
always stick by my own opinion because I always thought that shit
yeah,
was stupid as fuck, and then now everyone thinks it's stupid as fuck.
yeah.
I hate trend hopping because 'cause I'm sure
Oh
I
my
like,
gosh.
tons of people trend hopped onto that shit, and I feel like that happens with a lot of art too, people will just, like, trend hop onto things.
Mhm.
You know what art I hate? Okay, this is probably rude of me, but I feel like sometimes a lot of art is, like, gimmicky, and, like, you ever seen those artists who they'll take, like, a blank canvas and they'll, like, do, like, space art, but it's not, like they'll just, like, put, like, a bowl on top and, like, spray paint it, and, like I don't know if you've seen those videos. There's
Oh, I
tons of people who do that,
have.
and they look cool, but I feel like that is so gimmicky and so many people do that, or, like, I don't know,
Do
sometimes
they
this
though? That
I've seen
I've
so
only ever
much of
seen
that.
that one guy do it.
I've seen, like, a million people do it,
Well,
and then
maybe
I've
it's
also
everyone copying him.
yeah, no, it for sure is. Someone
Because I
copied
think
somebody.
the thing is I think like that's the problem with the internet is that like
Yeah.
people see it doing numbers, so they try to copy it to get the same numbers. And in at the root of it, I think it's so creative,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's like you're taking a medium that's only used in one way and using it in a different way, or, not using it in a different way, but like you're using it in your own way. And like the art that he would create looked so cool. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end, it looked so sick. It looked like a photograph sometimes. And it was just
Yeah.
so interesting to see that and like the process and
But
how
then the
like
people who, like, copy it, it's just
yeah, but
like,
then they hop
"Come
on a
on
trend
now."
and it's like not a trend. He wasn't doing it to
But
start a
people
trend.
just,
He was
like,
just
do,
showing
like,
his
the exact
process.
same thing, but they don't do it as
Yeah.
good, obviously. But then there's
Yeah.
this other art style, which I can't stand when people just, like, take their paintbrush and just splash randomly, and they're like, "That's art."
Ah, yes,
Like, I mean, in
splatter.
a way, it is art, and it is an,
Yeah.
expression, but at the same time, they'll be selling these paintings for, like, thousands of dollars, and
Millions. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
I guess it's like there's an audience for everything.
Yeah, but then
And
again, like, it dips into the thing where sometimes art is just used for tax purposes,
oh
or
yeah.
also people buy it yeah, just for tax
Or like
write-offs.
people try to become an artist as like a get rich quick scheme,
Oh, that as well. See, that's
you
what I
know?
I feel like that dips into that same kind of art, where it's
Like
just like the
but the thing
splatter or the
the
simple
th-
stuff.
the thing is I feel like you can always tell,
Oh, for sure, because
Like
there's a emotion and passion put
yeah,
into art that's
like
genuine.
even if you have like a splatter piece, right? If the
Mhm.
person that made it was genuinely like they were using that technique or that medium to convey a feeling or a story, I feel like you can always tell. But if someone's just
Yeah.
splattering and they're like, oh, this is abstract, people will buy this because they think it's cool and weird and different. You can always tell. You can literally
Yeah.
always tell. It does
And you know the
not
people who are
matter.
always doing the fake ones are already, like, rich people. Like, it's usually, like,
Yeah,
white fucking blonde girls named, like, Brenda
Upper
trying to
West
dip their
Side.
toe into, like,
Yeah,
fucking they're
definitely.
like, "Oh
And
my
I
god,
feel
I'm an
like
artist."
it's definitely like
So
a
okay.
I want to be quirky
But then
type of
again,
thing.
I hate hating on stuff like that too because I feel like such a hypocrite. Because it's like everyone can be an artist, anyone can be an artist, everyone has that part
Yeah,
of them, but
it's
at the same
okay.
time, I'm a critic. I
The thing
love
is,
criticizing.
the thing is I don't think like if those people want to make art, that's fine. Like you can
Yeah.
do
No,
whatever
everyone's
you
allowed
want.
to have their
But
own expression, but I
I
feel like
think
sometimes it goes too
the
far.
issue that it comes the issue when it becomes an issue is when they try to capitalize off of it and
For
try
sure.
to like because obviously there are artists out there that do try to sell their work because that's their livelihood and that's fine and but they
Mhm.
obviously put their all into it, they dedicated their lives to this, whatever it is. But people that see it only as like a get rich quick scheme, and it's like just like if you want to create art, create it, but don't create it for the wrong reasons.
Create it for not to sell, but for, like,
Yeah.
whatever, and if you sell it, that's cool, but, like,
If you yeah, like when I
make
started
it for the
writing
reason you wanna make it, not for
yeah,
money.
when I started writing poetry, it came from a very honest place of me trying to work out what it like the emotions that I was feeling. I
Mm,
started writing poetry at a very dark place in my life, and I really had no idea how to categorize like what the fuck I was feeling. It started from me trying to describe what it was I was feeling so that it was better like so that I someone else could understand it. And so a lot of it came from like descriptive stuff. And now I've been like 3 years later, I've been writing all the time and like different inspirations have come in. And it's like I only recently thought about possibly putting out a poetry book. But it's like it's not because I'm like, oh, if I write this and I put it in a poetry book, I'll make all the money. No, that's not at all what it's like. Of course, like I would love to make money not doing what I do now. Like I fucking hate my job. And I would love to do make money from creating art, but I didn't write with the sole purpose of of getting money from it. I wrote because
mhm.
that's what helped me at the time. That's what's still helping me,
Yeah.
and that's what I like to do, and I have ideas and I have inspiration for it, so I write it down and then it becomes a poem or it becomes a song lyric or whatever it is. That's why I write, because I enjoy doing it, and I like it's like poems are like puzzles to me, and I work them out and then I have fun doing it. And you can tell like art is good if you can see the
Mhm.
emotion behind it.
You know what I think a lot of people's problem is these days? I feel like a lot of the younger generation as well, they always feel like they have to monetize off of their interests,
Oh,
whether that's art,
100%.
whether it's just a like a simple hobby. Because it sometimes it feels like that's the only way you can make money. And like these days, because a lot of like minimum wage jobs don't pay enough. So obviously you're gonna want to make your hobby your side hustle as well. But sometimes I feel like people forget that you can just enjoy things, not for the fact you
Yeah.
can make money off of them, but for the fact that it just is fulfilling for you. 'Cause I feel like everyone falls victim to that, even me, like, I feel like, "Oh, I wish I could make money off of this," or I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know, cause sometimes it's so hard to be able to just, like, enjoy something without, like, getting, like, some sort of income from it because everything
Exactly.
feels like it's a waste of time
I
if
think
you don't work for it, I guess.
I think that's a societal thing,
Yeah.
because it's like especially nowadays, like with every passing year there's um more and more of like a mistreatment of the arts and stuff like that, where it's like there's no gain from this, like there's no monetary gain from it, so it doesn't matter. If I can't make money off of this, why should I bother? And
Oh,
I
I hate
think
that
it
mindset, though,
sucks,
it's so bad.
it sucks. And it's like my parents have done that to me too. Like I'll
Yeah,
talk
me
about
too.
a hobby that I like, or I enjoy it, or something like that I enjoy to do, something to do, and whatever it is. And the first thing out of their mouth is always like,
Can you make
oh,
money
maybe
from
you
it?
can, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, maybe you can, like, that could be your job or that could be your career. And it's like, can I not just enjoy a hobby? Is it not
It's
enough
so
that this
hard these
brings me
days to
joy?
have that, like, freedom to do that.
Exactly. And especially these days, it's like when you're working and it's like I work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. It's like
So when
I
you come home, you're
can't,
already exhausted,
yeah,
so you
I
feel like
can't
it's a
even
waste of
enjoy
time to
it.
enjoy the things that you really
Yeah.
enjoy.
And it sucks because it's like I wish I could make money writing because I know that I enjoy it and I
And you're
know
good at
that
it.
yeah, I guess. But it's like I feel like I just hate an office job. That's the thing. And the thing
Yeah.
is that not to sound like fucking millennial, like avocado toast, but like I'm a creative. That's the problem. Is I'm a creative stuck in a corporate world and I can't do a 9 to 5. I can't sit at a desk and write emails all day. I just literally cannot do that. I want to blow my brains out. It sucks. I
Yeah.
hate doing it. Like I show up to work and I'm like I literally hate my life. I hate my life. And I don't think any amount of money in the world could not make me enjoy that job
No,
a
for real.
hundred
Because when
percent.
you don't like a job, it's obviously gonna make you
It's
feel
so
miserable every
hard.
time you go there, and
It's
it becomes your
so
life.
hard.
I feel like every time I work, it becomes my life, and that's what I hate. Even if it's a job that
Yeah.
it's like I'm only
We
working.
were not meant
Yeah,
to be in an office for 8 hours of every day and then only have 2 days to ourselves. Like that's not how life is supposed to be lived. Hate to break it to you, but that's not how life is supposed to be fucking lived.
no,
We're supposed to prance around, create art, love each other, and have community. We're not supposed to beat everyone up and think me, and kill art because it doesn't make us money. And, like that's so, like, the world is so fucked right now. I just want to write my silly little poems and I want to sit in a comfortable little cottage with a little dog. And it's like, I just want to have a life full of art and peace and creativity, but I can't do that sitting in a fucking office. It sucks. I just want to make art. Art is so fabulous. And I
yeah,
think like it's so important to have it as a kid, because I feel like they cut the
so
first
much art
programs,
programs.
the
Yeah,
first programs that end up getting cut when it comes to budget cuts
is
are
art.
art programs, music programs, theater programs, the arts. Like those are the emotional programs. Those are the programs where kids learn how to channel their emotions in a healthy way. Except and then I don't know if this was the case with your place town that you grew up in, but with my town, like our music programs and our art programs, they got cut so much, and our theater programs, they got cut so much. But
Mine
then when they
didn't.
came to like the sports programs, oh my god, did they get all the funding. And I'm not bashing on sports, being active and stuff like that is important as well, like exercising and learning good like sports habits. But it's like it's so like grim,
Yeah. Well,
you
luckily
know
for me, I guess in my town, they saw the sports equal to the arts. So we did have a lot of like arts in my town. Like my little sister even has art now to this day. So I feel kind of lucky in that way. They never really cut that over here. But I don't know if that's like a Florida thing because I feel like Florida's so laid back.
See, the thing is that like I remember that my middle school used to have a theater program, but then they cut it, and then there was
What?
no theater program in my
That's
middle
fucked up.
school. And then they like there was this one program that they added back later on, and I can't remember what it was. Life of me. But yeah, so it's like I like there was very little artistic opportunity. And the thing is that like as the years go on, it's like less and less.
Mm.
And especially like specifically in like my area, I just don't
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I see it all the time. And it's just so sad because it's like art is so it's like such a wonderful I honestly have no idea like where I would be without any form of art,
Oh,
and
same, same.
it's so wonderful, and it's so like great to learn about it. Like I remember I took like an art history class, and I learned about all sorts of cultures and histories and stuff like that, and it was so fun and
'Cause, like,
interesting.
if you do look back on history, art was always such a big part of it.
Oh yeah,
Like, with
100%.
every like you're saying, every culture, art was always surrounded. Because
Yeah.
if you look in any history book, it's full of just the art, mostly. I
It's
mean,
like
besides the
the
wars,
original,
but
it's
the
like
art.
it's the original language
For
basically,
sure.
you
They
know?
always indulge in that, and that's something that I feel like these days, it's like back in the day, they indulged in that just for the heck of it, just because that's what they did. Nowadays, if you can't make money off of it, they won't indulge in it.
Yeah, because
It's
everything
just like,
costs
huh?
money.
It
It
sucks. When will
sucks.
things stop costing money?
I
Good
don't know.
question. Can we start using monopoly money?
I'm
I'm down for
weak.
that.
But it's like
Um,
it's just
I don't
crazy.
know. Yeah, but art is life. It really is because it's in everything.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%
Life imitates art.
real. I just think that even if you go to Barnes and Noble and get one of those coloring books
That's still
and
art.
a pack of Crayola markers or some shit, I think that is a great way to
Mhm.
incorporate art at a low
Wait, were you a
pressure.
colorer or what?
Oh
Yes, right?
yeah.
Not me. I
Hello.
hated coloring.
I love coloring.
Because I used to like to draw my own things. Although,
See,
okay, the thing with drawing for me, I'm not like particularly like the best drawer ever or like artist, but I love to draw.
the thing is that I get frustrated when I draw because I don't have the
Mm.
skill to translate what it is I see up here onto the paper, and it pisses me off. So I'm like, fuck that, you know? And then I
Yeah,
just
yeah, and I always
color.
compare myself to other artists. I get so frustrated with that too, because I'm good at like doodling and doing like weird
Mm-hmm.
characters, but then I want to draw realistically, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you know that scene in Napoleon Dynamite where he draws that girl right before prom?
I haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite
Oh
in a
my god, well, he
while.
draws like, he intensely draws her, right? And you think it's gonna turn out really good, but it is the worst drawing on the
Uh,
planet. That's how I feel every time I try to draw realistically, and I'm like, "Maybe I'm a terrible artist." But then I feel like, again, art is subjective, so it's like,
yeah.
maybe I'm not 'cause it's just, like, what I wanna do, but I am good at doodling, I like doodling.
You're not bad at
I'm
drawing.
a
I like your
doodle
little
girl.
drawings.
Oh, thank you.
But, but yeah, I always liked coloring better because it was really low pressure.
Oh, true, 'cause you could just
And
do whatever.
yeah, and I was always a very neat colorer.
Oh.
Like I was like an outline it and then color it in type of
Oh, yeah,
person.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
such a neat color. Oh my God.
Where, like, the sides are a little bit darker and the inside's light. You ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, oh my God, oh my gosh, I could spend hours coloring and I would fill up coloring books, and
Mhm.
I have a Hello Kitty coloring book right now, and it's so wonderful.
That's gotta be the best.
Oh, it's so cute.
I
It's the
wanna
sweetest
make a
thing
coloring
ever.
book, like, of
Oh my
doodles and
God,
have
you
other people
should.
color it.
That
That
would
could
be
be
fun.
fun. Ooh.
But yeah, incorporate art in your life somehow. Go to
For
an art
sure.
museum.
No, I love art museums. That's one of the things in life that I just
They're
like,
so
and anytime
fab.
I visit a new place, I love going to their museums of art.
They're so fabulous. I
Because
love
you
art
really it does
museums.
inspire you. Because a lot of it is, like,
It
older art,
does.
of course, but, like, I don't know, something about it still, like, strikes something in you.
I just like seeing pretty things.
Oh, me too. Are
Like
you
when I
okay, when you go to, like, an art museum, do you like looking at the sculptures or the, paintings more?
I tend to spend more time at the paintings.
Mm,
I do like sculptures though. I love
mhm,
Renaissance art. I
same.
love Chinese and Japanese watercolors. I love the Greek statues are stunning.
See,
I
those are
love those,
cool
like the
as
marble
hell.
ones.
Yeah.
I love Rococo art, so that's like 1700s.
Oh, yeah.
Um I love I just love like um yeah, just like Renaissance art is probably one of my
Your
favorites.
favorite, yeah.
Just because like there's so much like melodrama in it. Like there's so much like movement and like
Yeah, because
drama,
it's yeah,
and
no, it's definitely more of a
it's so
story,
like
I feel like.
active. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like there's like when
There's
you
always so
look
much
at,
going on in it because there's something
yeah,
going on in, like, a corner, like, its own story, and
yeah,
then
and
there's,
like
like,
you
something else, yeah.
exactly, like even if it's like a portrait, there's so much like movement to
Detail.
it, I feel, you know, like it's alive, like for some reason, you
Oh,
know?
I love it.
It's just so beautiful to me. And I don't know. But And I feel like all of those things kind of have the same thing in common where they feel like alive to me. Like they feel like there's an energy or a life to them. And I really love them. And I just love art so much. I love
Me too.
whenever I go to the Met, like I go to it all the time, but whenever I go, I always like they have a section of the Met because I like architecture as well. They have a section in the Met. I don't know if it's still there now, but they have all these like rooms.
Yeah,
So they have
that's one of my favorite
recreated
parts.
and it's all from like the 18th century, so like 1700s.
It's so
And
intricate and beautiful.
oh my God, it is so
We've seen them
stunning.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's my favorite part of the it's like my favorite part. It's so stunning. It's just so beautiful. It looks like the palace at Versailles. Like you, oh my God,
No,
it's
it's
so
so
beautiful.
cool. And it's
And
just like
then
stepping into a piece of history.
yeah, and then
It's
they
so
had
cool.
like rooms of like teapots and
Yes, yes.
like porcelain statues hand painted and
It's
oh
like
my
really
gosh,
being there. It's like you can
it's
imagine
so
yourself in the
stunning.
situations or like the life that these people had.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
like
cool.
engraved silver. Oh, so beautiful. And then just like the paintings. I just love it. I don't know. There's like so much like I just feel like it's so dramatic. Like it's so big and you know, ostentatious and
Yes.
it's so fabulous. Like it like the energy of those art pieces to me are like it's like the manifestation of like fainting on a chaise lounge, you know? Like
Yes.
it's just so dramatic and big and I love it so much. What is your favorite type of art?
Probably Renaissance too.
Really?
Or like paintings, yeah.
Are there
I
like
mean to see at like a museum or just in general.
like in general, what art do you tend to gravitate towards?
That's tough because there's so many. There's so many. I'm being quizzed. No, I like doodle art as well. Like I like obviously behind me it's more like
Yeah,
doodly. So like that's there's so it's like such a wide.
like cartoony.
I like cartoony stuff, but at the same time I like Renaissance stuff too, where it's
Yeah.
almost realistic but not quite.
I like cutesy stuff as well.
Oh yeah, me too. Like Hawaii.
Mm, like really cute. There's
Yeah.
an artist that I follow that their art is so cute, but it's like also really funny. Like it's really just like really like tongue in cheek and stuff like that. Like it's
Oh, I
so
love that
funny.
kind of stuff.
And they make like prints. I'm looking at one right now. I have a physical print of it, and it's like these cute little like kittens, like really big and chubby kittens. And it's just like it's really funny. Like there's always like text on the screen on like the print as well. I have one where it's like a big orange kitten like cooking, but like looking really distressed and it says like I do the cooking, I do the cleaning, and it's so funny. And then I have another one where it's like another kitten really like again really distressed and it's like things are constantly happening and like that's the text that it says. It's just like
Oh,
it's really cute. It's like really big and squishy looking and but um but yeah, I tend to gravitate towards like the Renaissance and like those types of art styles just because like it's so theatrical, I think.
right.
Like I want to film my like
No, because it correlates with you because you love theater too, so for it
oh
to be
my God,
theatrical as
yeah.
well.
And I'm just so dramatic. Like I'm just
Yeah.
I'm so dramatic. Ugh, I just love drama.
You love the drama of it all.
Drama.
I'm such a
Drama.
I love cartoons. I'm a
Well,
cartoon
I feel like
gal.
it that matches you though because you have like a fun personality and you're like kind of
Mm,
quirky and then like the art
me?
you like reflects that.
I guess so.
It's like
I
fun and quirky, but
guess.
you know. But
Yeah.
art.
Ooh, speaking of like art, like tattoos. That's art. You
Yes.
don't have any, right?
I want
But
some
you
though.
want some. Oh
Yeah.
man, I want one. I have this idea for like, I don't know. I want like a band on my arm that's just like rabbits running
You were
and
telling
like
me that's really
around. Yeah,
cute.
but like
I
cartoony.
I want to get I want to get a Hamlet related tattoo.
Oh
and I want it
yeah.
to it's like a hand holding a skull, and I want it to be in the style of like a 1600s like etching. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
Mm.
Leonardo da Vinci sketchbook style.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I
Like
feel you on that.
that kind of idea, like an etching sketch type of
Yeah. Didn't
style.
you also want like an Alex Turner zombie kind
Yeah,
of
so I
portrait?
this is like a I probably will never get this, but I wanted to get um this specific picture of Alex Turner. It's him lighting a cigarette from like 2012, and it's black and white. It looks like a picture from like the 60s. And I love it. It's such a cool picture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of my favorite pictures ever. And he's got like the quiff, he's got this like popped collar of like a leather jacket, and he's lighting a cigarette. And he's keeping this like really severe like
Stare.
aggressive eye
Yeah.
contact with the camera, but it's so cool. It's like that type of photograph, like it's effortlessly cool. And and I wanted to get that, but like him as like it's like so it's like that it's not actually him, but it's like that pose inspired by that picture, but as like a decaying greaser zombie. So
Right.
he would be like part skeleton, and like the cigarette smoke would be coming out
Like
of his
out the
eyes, and
eye.
like it would be
Oh
all
my
dramatic and
God.
shit. It'd be so cool, and he's like
No, that would be cool.
deteriorating, and it's just like so sick. But yeah, I also want to get the bust from Pride and Prejudice 2005 of Mr. Darcy. I want to
That
get a
would be
tattoo
really,
of
really
that
cool.
bust. That would be really sick. um I really like simple tattoos.
Would you want to be like tatted up, like full sleeves, stuff like
No,
that? No, me
I
neither. I
wouldn't
want
do
like random pieces all over. I like little intricate
yeah.
things.
Yeah, like I want to do like random pieces all over, but they kind of look like they go together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, like they're all similar type of idea. Maybe not the same style, but the styles are matched in a way that it's like they're different, but they still
Hmm.
go together. But
I always
yeah.
get envious of other people's tattoos because I'm like, I wish I thought of that first, or I'm like,
Yeah.
that would look so good on me. But then I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to copy. But then I'm also
Mhm.
like, I don't know, like I want to be so tatted up, but then I'm like, money. That's the
Yeah.
tough part. And
I
I'm
don't want to be
indecisive.
like yeah, I don't want to be like completely inked up, and I'm scared of getting a tattoo because I'm scared of not liking it.
Right,
Like
right, right.
I
Well,
know
yeah.
like the
It's tough
thing
when you
is
don't like a
like
tattoo because I have one that I really just don't like and it's on me forever. And I'm like, okay,
yeah. And it's like it's not like a haircut, you know, it's not going to grow out.
yeah.
And I think like I don't know, I feel like it does stress me out the permanence of it, because it's like oh my God, you know, like
Hmm.
if I get this zombie Alex Turner inspired tattoo now, like will I still like this tattoo when I'm older?
Yeah, in
You
like
know?
20 years.
And yeah, like I don't know. Like yeah, it'll be a fucking sick tattoo, but
I think
like,
the rule of
you
thumb
know?
is if you want something for like 3 years, then get it. Because if your
Yeah.
mind hasn't changed in 3 years, because I feel like everyone's different, like every 3 to 5 years. If
Cuz
you're
the thing
still
is
wanting that, then go for it.
yeah, cuz it's like a couple of these tattoo ideas I've been sitting on for a while. Like the Hamlet
Mhm.
one, like
I
I
think you
feel
should
like
definitely get that one at least.
yeah. And I also want to get like a Hamlet quote as well.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Is there like a place that you specifically want to get tatted on your body? Like, do you want it on your arms, your
my
legs?
arms.
Mm,
I think my arms are the only place I can really think of, like when
mm.
it comes to getting a tattoo. I just like the placements better. But the thing is I have very, very tiny arms. So I don't have much
There's not a lot of
space.
space.
I also
I feel
just
the same
I
way.
also just have I have no pain tolerance, so I'm so scared of getting one because
Oh,
I'm such a baby. Like I'm so sensitive. Like I
well, okay. When your cats scratch you sometimes, right? By accident.
no,
No?
no they
Have you ever
don't.
been scratched by a cat?
Yeah.
It feels like that. At least on your arms. The arms don't really hurt because even though, like, you have small arms, there's still probably, like, a bit of fat on there. I
Yeah.
feel like when it's closer to the bone, it hurts.
The thing is that I also just have a thing with needles.
Oh, that too.
So
Yeah, it
like
can be
I
tough.
will probably pass out, you
But I
know,
don't know,
and like I
it's not as
literally
bad as people say it is, though. It literally feels like the tiniest scratch ever,
no, but
and
the thing
also the
is
needles
that
you can't see because 'cause they're so tiny, you just go in.
logic does not work for me when it comes to that because I
True.
know the needles are there
Yeah,
and I know they're puncturing my skin. So even if I'm
yeah.
not looking at it, like every time I get like blood drawn and stuff like that, like I literally
Oh,
get
that's
faint.
so worse. No, I get
It's
lightheaded when I
so
get blood
bad for me.
drawn,
And
yeah.
I have to like disclose that. I have to be like, listen, I'm really bad with needles. I could
Yeah.
possibly faint. Like it's so
I'm
bad.
telling you though, tattoo needles and, like, surgical medical needles, although they
Yeah,
can
I
be
know they're
similar, they are
different.
so different.
I know they're
It's
different.
it's like a totally different game.
I know
Like,
they're different, but
I feel
like
like when you really go to get a tattoo, you'll see what I mean.
the thing is I know they're different, but that
But then
doesn't
it's the
help.
mental thing that it is a
Yeah,
needle, so
it's just like I know that there's a needle here and I know that it's puncturing my skin continuously.
but then again, you could
And
think of it as, like, a cool thing, like, it's putting ink into your, like, skin.
yeah, that doesn't help.
That doesn't help, like, it's
No.
cool, like, I don't know.
It
And
is
it doesn't
cool, but
hurt,
like
like, that bad.
it is cool, but like I'm insane. So
Well, that day, you just take twice the amount of medication,
you're
and then you
right.
get
You're
it done.
right. I show up fucking zoinked out of my
I
mind.
don't know, I wanna get a tattoo in, like, a really painful spot just to see my tolerance, 'cause I really wanna get one on, like, the side of my ribs, and I know that's
Oh,
gonna
what?
be
Oh, I wanted to get a crescent moon on my side boob as like a
on the
Arctic
moon
Monkeys
side boob, that
reference.
could be cool. You know where I wanna get one? Like, right between my boobs, or, like,
Oh
right
my God,
under, like,
slay.
I don't know, like a spider or something, that could be
That's
really
so
cool.
cool.
But, like, I don't know, I'm also the kind of person who wants tattoos to have meanings, but I also think this would look really cool.
The thing is I am someone that like for my personal being, I would want my tattoos to mean something. Like they need to mean something to me for me to
Yeah,
actually go through all of that to get it. But
for sure,
I
for
love
sure.
it when people are like, "Oh, why'd you get that, you know, telephone on your arm?" And someone's like, "I don't know, because it's fucking cool." Like
Mhm.
I really don't care. I think it's so funny when people say that and I'm like, "Yeah, it's just part of the experience." Like it doesn't need to mean something, but like it ends up meaning something, you know? Like the story of how you ended up picking that or the story of
Yeah.
like the day you got that ends up becoming the meaning behind it. It doesn't have to be this like, oh, my grandmother was this and that, so I got this. And it's like, okay, that's fabulous. You know, I
Yeah.
love that there's some deep emotional meaning, but sometimes the best tattoos are the ones that don't quote
Are
unquote mean
random as
anything.
hell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's funny because they become talking pieces or they end up
for sure.
some greater meaning ends up becoming part of it.
My
But for
issue with
me,
tattoos too, like, I wish I could think of something so original that I'm the only one with it, but, like, at this point, everyone has everything tatted,
yeah,
but I always feel like I'm accidentally copying someone. Like, I don't ever wanna be, like,
yeah.
in a position where someone's like, "That is actually my tattoo,"
Well, the thing
and
is, the good thing is that, you know, there are so many tattoo artists out there, especially people that, you know, will take your idea and draft something for you.
creative and, like,
So, like, yeah,
original.
so even if you have a similar concept, like, it will always be your tattoo because it was drawn for you, based
That's
on you,
true.
by an artist picked by you.
Yeah.
So even if, like, let's say you wanted to get a butterfly. Everyone's gotten a butterfly, but the butterfly you get, if you describe it to like an artist, you're like, could you draw me a butterfly tattoo? These are the things that I want, etc.,
It would be
etc.
its own thing.
It would be its own
Yeah.
monster
I
because
actually
it's
did at
like,
one point want a butterfly, like, right above my hip bone.
oh,
That'd be
that's
kinda
so
cute,
weird that I
right?
thought of that.
I don't know. I
But
might still do that. I think me and Haley, my sister, we wanted to get matching butterflies, but then we never did it.
oop, but
Actually, my first tattoo was supposed to be a matching tattoo with Haley, but then she ended up getting a totally different tattoo and didn't tell me until I was already getting mine.
oh my
And
god,
I was like, "Oh,
nar, I
I
would have
know."
freaked out.
Well, no, I wanted my tattoo anyways, but even though I regret it now, I'm like, "Whatever." Because I got it when I was 17, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Maybe I shouldn't have got that when I was
Yeah,
17." But, whatever, I'm used to it now. But also the
whatevs.
thing with tattoos, you'll forget when you finally get one, you'll forget they're on you. Like, you'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's there."
Oh,
Like,
I forget
"Damn, look
so
at this," and
much.
I'm like, "Eh."
I genuinely like that would be so funny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
cuz
it's
I
crazy.
100% would 100 like forget that it's
Forget,
on
yeah.
me and then I go to take a shower and I'm like, "Huh?
Since when was that on there? My
When did
grandma's
I
always
get
like, "You
that?"
got something on you," and I'm like, "What?" And then she points to my tattoo, and I'm like,
Oh, it's so stupid.
but it's funny.
It's funny, yeah.
I feel like your parents would do something like that.
Oh my God.
Your
My
dad
mom would.
or your mom? Okay.
Yeah. My dad is always like judgmental. Like
Oh,
I'll
true.
talk about like, "Oh, I would love to get this as a tattoo. That'd be so cool." And he's like, "Oh, but you shouldn't because oh my God, when you're older, it's good." Oh. And I'm like,
Then you'll look
"Bro,
cool
like
when you're old.
I was like you're such a fucking
Do
wet
your parents have
blanket."
any tattoos or no?
No. My
No.
mom wants to get a tattoo. She wants to get one for like my brother and I.
Oh, that's cute. My
It's
mom
like
has
a
a tattoo
typical
on her
mom
back
thing.
for
It's
my
like a
sister.
typical mom tattoo though.
Oh, what
She
kind?
wants to get like an infinity sign with like our birthdays.
Oh, that's cute though. I
It's
like it
cute,
has
but it
meaning
is
to
like
her.
a yeah, it's cute, but it's like a it's just a mom tattoo, you know?
My mom, when she was like 18 or 19, she got like a fire sign, like but in Chinese writing for my sister Haley because she's a fire sign, I guess. I don't know. No,
Mm.
she's not. Wait, is Libra fire?
No, Libra's air.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Anyway, well, I guess she just
Anyways,
wanted it, but it was for my sister.
yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if she's a fire. No, she's a Taurus. That's not fire either.
No, that's
Wait, why'd
Earth.
she get that? I don't know. It's her only tattoo. My dad has a couple, but it's not like crazy. Oh, we should wrap it up. We've listened.
Yeah.
Well, thanks
Um,
for watching, you guys.
Thanks for watching and listening. Get a do me a favor and get a coloring book. Do something
Yes.
artistic at least once a day. Find some time and do something artistic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be fabulous always and slay.
Slay the day away.
See you
Alrighty.
later,
Bye
kiddos.
bye bye.